but then previously, whenever they had fought off against SSG and FaZe in the last regional event, I feel like I was a bit iffy, you know? They had a tough bracket, they had a tough group stage, and it is what it is. Now you come out here, these are the teams that you should be 100% beating, but you lose to Oxygen, and now you're fighting against Soniqs for top 2. This is going to be one crazy match, 3-1 or 3-0 like Gibbs said, and you guarantee a top 2, but you can't count out Soniqs regardless of what we see.
You know, Soniqs, despite losing their last match today against version 1, they had some sparks of greatness in that match. Shock in particular was looking pretty solid, so if they can create some of that magic early against Rogue, well, they might find some success as T-Corral pushes forward.
It's kind of crazy too, even looking at their previous results in this group stage so far. The Rogue had a reverse sweep against V1, so still a couple of rough matches for Rogue, but that doesn't change anything so long as you can secure top 2, get that extra life going into the knockout gauntlet. And, you know, if you're a fan of Rogue, you would want to see them start out strong here in game 1.
So far, nothing too crazy, though, for either team, but T-Corral almost just dropped at the first killer. Rogue happy to stick around in the orange half for a little bit. Taroko actually winning a lot of touches. Buys time for Rogue to get set in midfield again. Turo's got to pass the first killer. He's got a little space. First killer slowing it down. It forces the challenge up. T-Corral, awkward spot. Shock gets there first off the backboard.
Does seem like Rogue are going for this more challenge-orientated playstyle where they don't want to force too many opportunities in front of the net. Just win challenges like this from first killer. He goes into the corner, wins that 50, and then you can get a shot on net. Oh my goodness. The angle from first killer and this win right here on the 50 was spectacular.
A bit of a crystal ball from you, right? When you're talking about him winning the 50 to create an opportunity.
There you go.
You know, first killer, a splash play just like that.
That's what you're waiting for. If you're Rogue, it's just going for the 50s and then an opportunity. So long as that one does go your way, that challenge, then you've got a solid chance.
Oh, that was a nice block from T-Corral, but a good setup from Rogue. They almost caught Soniqs on a split defense. They actually lost possession of the ball there. Taroko steals it away. So for Soniqs, ever since that first minute, they've struggled to hang on to the ball or really start to pressure Rogue at all. There's 7 shots already for Rogue, only 1 for Soniqs.
They're kind of giving away possession. And you notice, wow, the fake there from Turo as one player bid and then just completely whiffed. Now T-Corral off the backboard. Shock couldn't get a touch earlier. A couple of mechanical issues from Soniqs. I mean, even if you want to put the mechanics in comparison for both teams, you got to give the edge to Rogue. So if you are Soniqs, you don't play a 1v1. You want to utilize everybody as best as you can because first killer is going to be in your face.
He is in the face right now of Soniqs. Right there, almost got the redirect. Going to be a tough one with the speed. Demo to maybe open up a pressure opportunity, but even there, Shock gets demoed and the ball just kicks right back to Turo.
Okay, but the challenges now working in favor of Soniqs, and maybe we see some pressure, but no, Taroko. He won 2 challenges in a row, then puts a shot on net. In the midfield, Rogue are so dominant, it's every 50-50 that seems to be going their way.
Now T-Corral does what he can with low boost, but again, Taroko steals it away. And this is going to make it hard in the corner for T-Corral. I thought Taroko could just shovel the ball away, force the ball past Shock. You're definitely right, Turtle. Like, well, just about the challenge game being so beneficial for Rogue, but they do keep going for it. They find that one favorable challenge, and then they exactly know where to bite. Turo gets right underneath the first touch, the shot from Roldiz, and now it turned right back around. Got a little bit of boost left. First killer can't get demolition on Roldiz.
You could see that timing was picture perfect for first killer, but he just didn't have the prediction that the goalkeeper was going to jump. Most of the time, goalkeepers will end up jumping, trying to dodge that demo. But in that situation, just a bit unfortunate for first killer on the read. And then another demo. He's going from corner to corner, Jorby, taking the boost, being a nuisance on the pitch.
Certainly been at the front of a lot of the Rogue push, whether it's winning challenges or stealing that boost out. That usually you find him, you know, sitting or playing second or third fiddle to Turo first killer, Taroko. And him being in that role is just, despite Rogue only being up by 1 goal, they've had complete control of the pitch.
Yeah, well, I think it's a very natural role for first killer to fall into. This one almost actually fell into the Rogue net, but it was saved out. A couple of chances from Soniqs, but this is their best look, and it's wide off the backboard. And then the player who was coming in for the follow-up got bumped by First Killer. Rogue, hold on.
First Killer almost got the bump out to Turinturo, but
there it is.
got bumped on the play. T-Corral wanted to beat Taroko, but can't get by him again. Taroko makes it happen. Roll this. One last chance to off the corner, and he lost the ball to Turinturo. Timeline down to 0. It's not looking like Soniqs are gonna get a push here. Off the backboard, Roldiz does give a little bit of height. T-Corral, he's got Roldiz downfield. Soniqs might be crafting something here. His shot pushes it back to the corner, but that challenge back to T-Corral, played him followed, and knocked back down. Rogue handled business.
You love to see the effort in the last few seconds, but at the end of the day, this was Rogue playing their best with that challenge game and taking advantage of it, because you're throwing First Killer forward. He's winning a lot of the challenges like we mentioned, and on top of that, the boost was constantly in rotation for Rogue versus Soniqs. And a lot of times I'd see them, the Soniqs, going on the transition. They had nothing in the tank. There were the best opportunities towards the end of game 1, but that's just because the situation, the pressure was on. Maybe that bleeds into game 2, but regardless, Rogue looked very calm here, Jorby.
Yeah, and it's about as comfortable as a win as it can get for Rogue. They were really grooving like a well-oiled machine. Every opportunity Soniqs had to start to generate some pressure, Rogue would beat them in slightly unconventional ways. There were a couple of pushes where Turo would cut rotation or really just block a pass from behind the offensive rotation of Soniqs, where they weren't really expecting them to be, and so they had to reposition on the rotation, and they're back to the orange half again. All your boost is gone. It was rinse repeat for Rogue. We'll see if that continues next game.
I was impressed, though, with T-Corral whenever he's transitioning on offense. He seemed to be the saving grace for Soniqs. The only chance that I'd say they got was from T-Corral dribbling it out and winning a 50, which was, that's a surprise with how dominant Rogue have been in that aspect. So maybe we see more from T-Corral. I'm normally highlighting somebody like Roldiz with his striking and the performance he can bring, but this could be T-Corral's chance to pop off.
Let's see if he can put it together. But in there, off the block, or off the back wall, saved, and Rogue keep them out. Roldiz.
Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. I thought it was gonna happen again. I talked about First Killer, he scored, and then maybe T-Corral, but unfortunately it wouldn't happen.
And no, not just yet, but maybe you can get it back on the turnaround. Turo flips it over him. Rogue are looking really good. Roldiz only 14 boost. He won't be able to chase that down. He might not need to. Drop ball, and Turo will pick it up. Soniqs were definitely expecting Rogue to be on top of that ball. Back to the orange half.
Okay, there's a very solid 50-50 from Shock to get on the other side, and look at what it brings. You can win that challenge, move forward, and have all this space to work with as T-Corral with such a smart pass off the sidewall. Wow. That pass, Jorby, in particular, was just amazing. You saw the recognition, the space, and T-Corral knew if that ball kept rolling into the corner, there's no way you get a second opportunity for a shot on net.
They put Soniqs in a nice position right off this kickoff, too, as Shock picks it up off the back wall. Oh, can't keep it going. Again in the corner, Soniqs starting to threaten more and more, but Rogue, every time they get a chance, they're bringing that ball down, trying to beat that first defender, or that first attacker, if you will. But now Soniqs are winning that first challenge out. And that's keeping Rogue locked in the blue half. How long Soniqs can keep that up without quality shots on net? Well, as anyone's guess as they keep pushing.
You can see T-Corral getting the demo, but even before that, he won the challenge going forward to keep the pressure, just like you were talking about, Jorby. And this is what's allowed for Soniqs to have the best few chances we've seen. But the defense is all over the place, and that was a free net for Turo. Both players from Soniqs were in the exact same rotation, the exact same spot. That's one that Rogue needs to put away.
And Rogue are in full retreat. T-Corral went under. First Killer barely got the save. And Turo gently carries the ball back out to midfield. Rogue, they're getting out of a couple of scary situations on defense, and they might let in a second one if they're not careful, although First Killer grabs that second touch off the backboard. And out by Shock. Able to keep him out. T-Corral, another demo to open up some space. Now Shock's got room to work with. Off the backboard, double, but Turo's there to cover up. Roldiz quickly meets First Killer in the air. And T-Corral Full tank of boost, has the challenge in front for Shock through traffic, up against the corner. Shock shot is good, nobody from Rogue could commit, and Soniqs are up by 2.
And you feel for Taroko, he just went in for that challenge, and then he got the corner boost, but for some reason didn't turn out to meet the challenge and the shot right in front of his own box. He let Shock take the opportunity and the space, and what happens? You give the man a free net to shoot at, pretty much. There's no way you can have a reaction time that fast to get a touch on the ball from Taroko.
Well, Rogue, losing the earlier series might start to bite you here. Remember, Gibbs says Rogue for top 2, they gotta get this at least 3-1, so they can drop this game. They can afford to drop this one.
Yeah.
But that's it after that. If they want top 2 in groups, Soniqs trying to make it tough on him. T-Corral forces the challenge up. Roldiz has the shot. Taroko can't save it. And Roldiz puts in the third for Soniqs.
T-Corral has just been a beast in the corners. He takes the boost and then doesn't even go for the challenge. He doesn't jump off the corner wall. He lets First Killer just completely dive into it and knows it'll squeeze above the net so long as T-Corral doesn't bite. Such a smart play, good patience, and then you've got an even better shot from the follow-up man.
So, going along the previous thought here with Rogue having to win 3-1 to get top 2. Right. So if they do win the series in 5 games, they'll be the number 3 seed. And because they lose to the tiebreaker from the goals that Gibbs was talking about, they lose it by 1 goal to Oxygen, and they'd get number 2. Oxygen would have number 2 based off of a goal tiebreaker if Rogue win this in 5. So it's not good enough to win the match outright for Rogue. They have to end it in 4.
Yeah, and you can tell that Rogue, they realize what's at stake and understand they don't want to drop down to the lower bracket again. This is what happened in the second regional event. They didn't make uppers in the knockout gauntlet. They still did end up making playoffs, but it was a brutal grind. You would love to have the extra life. Still 1 minute and 12 seconds left. There's plenty of time. And with the opportunities that Rogue have gotten, they've missed a couple of chances. It's not like Soniqs have been absolutely destroying them with possession. There's a few chances, but Rogue, you've got to be more clinical.
But Soniqs have definitely been better about managing the boost on the pitch. They've generated a lot more offense because of it. And Roldiz love to just kill more time on the clock.
Oh, man.
Good position here off the back wall. T-Corral setting up nobody. Roldiz actually gets the shot. Taroko frozen on the goal line. And that's the second time Rogue were frozen. Turo gets a good redirect, First Killer. Not sure where he's going. Taroko has to come forward.
The best chance for Rogue has been on the counterattack. Sometimes you'll see Soniqs push up too much. The third man is just left alone. And if you can get the 1-2 pass downfield, that should be your answer. Maybe this one is open, but T-Corral swipes across the net, gets the save, and keeps the security.
I wish I could look at that one again, because it almost looked like Turo also prevented that from going in. There was 3 cars in between that ball. Either way, Rogue couldn't get it done. And so Soniqs are able to tie up the series, and Rogue can't lose another game if they want top 2.
What a recovery from Soniqs to put this match a little bit more competitive. In the first game, honestly, it looked like Rogue were just all over Soniqs. It didn't seem like they even had a chance really going forward. But then game 2, you come out, you're winning challenges. And I think they understood Rogue were faster, and they just let Rogue try to speed their way to the ball as fast as possible. And what did Soniqs do? Instead of matching them in that regard, they hit the brakes a bit. And that is the difference in those challenges and what allowed them to shift the momentum. Just a little difference in speed can make pretty much this game go way in favor of Soniqs. And Rogue, they've got to respond and adapt.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. You saw the one goal, I think it was before Roldiz's goal, was the second goal from Soniqs, but you saw both Rogue defenders just freeze on the goal line when somebody should have been there to challenge Shock. But I think that's exactly what you're saying, right? Is Rogue are expecting a quicker pace of play. And because Soniqs keep changing it up, it almost like casts confusion onto them, and they're like, oh, wait, I don't even know what to do now. And next thing you know, the ball's in the back of your net.
Yeah, and Rocket League is a very give and take game. I mean, if you are Rogue, you're going to recognize that. I think Rogue will come out and try to slow down the pace a bit themselves. They realize that they're getting a couple of chances given to them from Soniqs, and if they just slow down, they will have the superior 1v1 game because you got players like First Killer on the pitch who can make a difference. This is a nice pass from Taroko into the midfield, and Rogue are starting out with a lot of heat.
Off the ceiling, First Killer. That one taken away by T-Corral. who's been all over the pitch, especially in the physical game, this time getting in the way on defense, but they still haven't got Rogue out of the orange half. Back over to the corner, First Killer won't be able to push the ball forward. Rogue not nearly as successful in the challenge game, and that certainly prevented them from generating those high-pressure opportunities they were getting earlier.
It's also the boost. I've been watching T-Corral's perspective since the last game. He is constantly running around, not only taking Rogue's corner boost, but also the midfield boost. That is what's creating this drought for Rogue, and it has kind of fizzled out their offense a bit, making it easier to recover on defense for the Soniqs.
Oh, Turo found the one spot where no player was, but First Killer was too far back to really force Soniqs to stretch there. They're back to the blue corner. Oh, Turo couldn't get the redirect. It was denied by Shock, but First Killer just kicks it way out to the side. And Shock, he mishandles the ball. Turoko almost punishes him.
Here we go.
It's a free ball to Turo. Shock harassing Shock on the back line. Turo, shot denied and taken away, but Turo gets a demo on the back end, and First Killer wants to take advantage. Voltez kicks him off the play, and play will die here for Soniqs as T-Corral moves down the field.
Oh, man, and that's painful for Turo. He was stuck in an awkward situation. He took the slower approach on that one opportunity. Then as he's going back, there's no midfield boost. He has been getting these saves on 0 boost now. Jorby, he's picking up a couple of pads. Finally, he gets the corner, but Rogue, they are showing very few signs of life, seeing as how starved they have been on boost.
Yeah, you know, that the longer you stay on 0 boost, the more your thumb starts to sweat. That's when mistakes can happen, but off the crossbar, First Killer can't put it in. Turo, shot never comes because Shock is in the way, and Soniqs defense has come out to play. Shock popping this one up, but Rogue got to try again with Turo. Hard kick against the backboard.
Oh,
he's got it. Laser shot from Turo, 1-0.
As soon as I saw the space on the backboard, you 100% no, he's gonna hit that shot. The accuracy, the mechanics, everything coming together to get the lead for Rogue. And man, did it look beautiful.
That's when Shock got that clear in midfield. When there was no follow-up and both Soniqs players had to sit back, you knew that something bad could have happened. And it might happen here again off the backboard. First Killer gets the next touch. Here comes Turoko, but it can't even get back to the ball. And now it's a race. Shock gets the ball first. Over Turo. No, Turo gets there first. And First Killer beats T-Corral clean to the ball. Rolt is in a poor spot, but he gets there right before Turo destroys him. And the Soniqs have another chance from the orange half.
And you feel for Shock in that 1v1 scenario. You knew what it was trying to go for, but this is another 1v1. And First Killer, very smart to be aggressive there. Somebody would have gone for the demo had he stayed in net. And he's got himself a 1v1 chance here off the backboard. That's a great bounce, but nobody could read it. Besides Turoko, you saw the other defender go up as well. And this has just been a very odd game, Jorby. The pace is constantly evolving.
Just trying to find that the one chink in the armor. Which one will it be? Is it the change up in speed? Is it a fast, powerful flick? Or is it a quick transition? Is it a demo? Only time's going to tell with what works. What works is a pitch from T-Corral to Roltiz for Soniqs to tie it up.
This was incredible. T-Corral saved that extra flip in the corner and then found the ideal pinch across. It wasn't too powerful, just right to get it into the midfield and find the equalizer.
A clean pinch pass from T-Corral.
Wow.
Put Soniqs in a position to really make Rogue's day bad. And Shock, well, he won't get a push here, but Soniqs have played an outstanding defensive game here in Game 3.
T-Corral's passes this entire series have been on another level. It has been so smart. And that pinch off the backboard, I just want to reiterate, it's so difficult to find the right amount of power without under-hitting the ball or over-hitting it. And then you just get this insane shot that goes across and your teammates can't react. So T-Corral, he's got the finesse and he's got that passing game on lock.
There's another pass over to Shock off the sidewall. Shock really hunting for the top of that net, but it's been well covered by Rogue. Shock in front of this again, and this is a stretch here for Turo, but every so often, gives up the ball to Shock, and he takes the ball away again. Just when you think Turo might have gotten beat, well, only made you think so on the clear back to the orange half.
Well, Rogue need this win, this individual game. Otherwise, they are not making top 2 in their group. If it goes to 5, and Rogue still get a win, they're not making it. It's gonna they're gonna lose the tiebreaker and end up falling short. So this is a must-win for Rogue if they want that extra life.
trying to push down the field now. Taroko coming in off of Turo's deletion on the pitch. Or Turo deleting a player on Soniqs, rather. And it might be overtime. No one has a clean look at the net just yet.
Okay.
Not going to get it from Taroko.
Oh, it's still
Bouncer
up.
on the ground. And Rogue will let it drop.
Oh, well. I'm actually surprised that Rogue in that situation would let it drop. Must have been an issue of no boost, because that was a good counterattack attempt. Nobody was upfield, but you'd think something could have developed. Either way, I guess it was planned, because Rogue on the kickoff had been superior and starting off the OT with a lot of pressure.
Oh, Taroko's in the box, and it's denied by Shock. Now a quick turnaround, but Roldiz won't get it. T-Corel forced to play in the corner. He'll win it clean. Roldiz is still downfield, but Turo's there first. Soniqs want to push here with T-Corel. Pop on the ground.
Goodness.
Underneath Taroko. It rolls into the net. T-Corel! He does it himself, and they take him down in game 3. Soniqs have taken the lead in the match.
The MVP, I'd say, so far of the series, T-Corel. So smart in every individual play. He is making the right choice whenever presented with any opportunity. Hands down, fantastic showing so far. And we aren't even done with the series yet, and the man has popped off.
That is it, by the way. Rogue have no chance at top 2 anymore. They will, at the very best, there will be the number 3 seed. If they win in 5, by the way, there's no guarantee they're going to win in the next game, but they will lose that number 2 spot by 1 goal. And I imagine Oxygen Esports are elated about their top 2 performance here in this group.
That is so crucial. Congrats to Oxygen Esports, but a very tough blow, a very tough pill to swallow if you are Rogue, given the fact that you looked so good in that game. I think it was 11 shots, I believe I read, after that series, or that game, excuse me, and you come out, the only goal you put away is Turo's backboard double tap. There's got to be more than that, Jorby, coming into the rest of the series. But at what point are you depleted? Your energy's gone. You get in your own head, and you're just feeling frustrated.
No, I mean, it's like, how many times did they pepper the Soniqs net, but they just never did anything to dismantle the rotation. They never really had Soniqs like frazzled at any point on the defensive line. They didn't have that same boost starvation onto Soniqs that they had earlier. And it's because of that guy right there, T-Corel, who just makes life difficult for Rogue at every step on the pitch.
Oh, there's even a team bump from First Killer. I'm not sure who it was, but on one of his teammates, he just knocked him to the other side of the field. Very awkward rotations from Rogue, and I've also noticed that First Killer, on a lot of these touches, he's just blasting it to the other corner instead of taking it a bit more carefully and going for some solo plays. If he keeps the ball closer and tries to control it, we could be looking at a difference in how this game is played out. And we just got information now that both teams here are playing to avoid G2. Whoever wins avoids G2 and gets third.
Okay, well that is, I would say that's something to play for, considering how G2 have looked. And, or at least how they looked against NRG. Here's T-Corel. And that's taken up by First Killer. They're playing to avoid G2. Not exactly the thing you want to be playing for, but, you know, you'll take it. Especially with Rogue off the dunk, went off the crossbar, no chance. And that's the thing, is like, if they don't score on that challenge opportunity, the follow-up has always been so clean from Soniqs. That wasn't so clean. That, in fact, is about as dirty as it gets off the goal line. First Killer punches in the first.
Yeah, and it's from the demo from Taroko. Very weird rotations from T-Corel. He just kind of swiped across his own player. Typically, you would just wait at the far post, but there T-Corel, he was hungry for boost and had no regard to his own rotation.
And you take it if you're Rogue. The Soniqs, considering how their runs have gone in the knockout gauntlet in previous tournaments, winning this would certainly be huge for their chances. To have to avoid G2, a match that, look, in all likelihood, the expectation is G2 win that if you're Soniqs. So to avoid them, to try to get further in the knockout gauntlet, that's something worth playing for when you're trying to get to the end of these roads. Taroko sends another one up towards the box. He gets the goal. 2 for Rogue.
Very slow rotations from the Soniqs coming out here. We've seen nobody back on defense. The demo comes out, but Shock is the one who needs to get a save. No boost in the tank. Starvation, good possession, everything from Rogue that we had been missing in the last game, and honestly the last 2 games, are now coming back.
How can Soniqs respond? Rogue might have another performance where they just roll the snowball down the mountain.
Yeah.
Soniqs will be unable to recover. They're going to need to get a push out of the orange hat, but Rogue just keep inching forward. Even there, Taroko, not really phased by the clear attempts by Shock.
And it's gotten to be a bit slower of a game, Jorby. I mean, the pace has gone down quite a bit. More dribbles, a couple of 50s like this in the corner. And previously in game 1, that challenge from Shock, Rogue would have won it. And that was the difference maker. Shock, alongside, I'd say T-Corel in particular, have been making the difference with the challenges. And it's opened up several gates of opportunities.
Ooh, even right there, I mean, Soniqs are just forced to react in the corners, and they're never able to take an advanced position. They're always diving for boost. You saw Shock, rather than being able to take the challenge, he just wanted the boost.
The
and
midfield?
Roltis now has to get it. And T-Corel, he was standing around in midfield, hoping for that midfield boost to spawn. Now he's got nothing here, and
Wow.
Shock will have to come in to help him out. He's still going to be frozen on the goal line, and Soniqs can't win a challenge to save their lives right now.
That's exactly where I want to see first killer. The bump from Shock on the striker, too. Good plays here. 1.5 minutes, plenty of time, but with the few opportunities that Soniqs have had, I'm not sure if it's possible. First killer has been so annoying. The man doesn't stop. He just took the corner boost, turned in, got a 50. It's to the other side, wasted all the boost, and you've got a teammate from Rogue here to keep the pressure mounted. So much aggression from Rogue, and it's making Soniqs struggle.
First killer weaves his way around T-Corel and almost into the net. Roltis, can he get a clear out for Soniqs? Can they get something started on the clock here before too much time is eaten up? Oh, they just haven't had a push like this in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe Soniqs can mount something here with a couple nice challenges, but Turo stole that midfield boost. That's going to freeze Roltis. T-Corel will get a pop. What has he got for us? Nothing. Taroko right in front of it. Rogue's defense is reawoken.
Yeah, and they've been taking the midfield boost like you just mentioned, Jorby. And now with first killer on the 1v1 grind, he has been so frustrating to deal with. You can see just flowing into the corners, gets a flick out, takes the boost, and turns around immediately into rotation. And he's in position all the time. You get that ball into the midfield, first killer is going to have an answer and a shot on net.
How about this pass from Taroko, though? Gets right underneath it, has the flip, and perfectly delivered to first killer. About as quick as a delivery as you could ask for in Rocket League.
It's a slow challenge from Soniqs. They cannot handle the speed from Rogue. That was a pass from Taroko where the goalkeeper was just flat-footed. Didn't even jump up to try to get a prediction. He was just waiting for the final shot because he knew he had no chance of matching the pace, tried to get a save. And at the end of the day, Rogue, they're going to put another one in and force a Game 5, Jorby.
Taroko again on the final pass to head into Game 5. If he's looking like that, and Soniqs are definitely worried, but not far from over. Rogue had a similar performance in game number 1, where Soniqs had a better start at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to need to channel that energy because a restart is exactly what they're going to get. Game 5, last chance we had to Champions Field.
I think this really puts on display the difficulty that Rogue have had to just stay consistent. You know, ideally they would want to play this way with first killer being as aggressive every single game, but it doesn't come down to that really too often. And most of the time for Rogue, it's like if you have first killer on the team and he's being aggressive, sometimes Taroko and Turinturo aren't matching that speed, and that's what creates, in my opinion, the inconsistency where first killer is just kind of by himself doing all this stuff, and then Taroko and Turo don't want to match the aggression. But here they definitely did that. You could see Taroko was doing all the work in the corners. We saw this lovely pass out of the midfield. That was amazing. And like I said before, T-Corel, he's so slow to get up to the challenge. He has to just wait for the shot to come out, and there is no chance. Rogue looked hot coming into Game 5.
Yeah, Soniqs just need confidence, and that confidence comes with boost in the tank.
Yeah.
And Rogue just look like they're freestyling out there when Soniqs have to react to everything that they're doing. You'll see those passes from Taroko that look unchallengeable because Soniqs have to sit on the floor. They're working on small pad gains for the entire match, and if you're playing like that against Rogue, one of the fastest teams in North America, you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh, and you're trying to avoid G2. Both these teams, you don't want to go into the knockout gauntlet facing off against G2 with how hot they've looked previously and with the results that we've been seeing from them. That is a monster lurking in the shadows.
Certainly. I don't know how worried Rogue is about G2. Although I certainly would be worried if you're Soniqs. And so winning this match, you've proven in several games that you can take this team, you can beat them in the challenge game. That requires a couple of fundamental things to go right for you if you're Soniqs. It starts with the boost game in that midfield.
It's all about the corner play. You know, that's where these challenges are coming out. And T-Corel, he was spectacular in the first few games, and he's the reason, in my eyes, why Soniqs even have a chance here and have made it to Game 5. With his decision-making, the passes, the pinch pass we remember off the backboard, also solo plays in the corners, he is the X factor so far in this series. We need to see more of that in Game 5, otherwise we will just see Rogue take this away and still keep all the aggression in the game.
Yeah, we just saw that last play, midfield, Taroko cut it off, and Soniqs' transition died completely. Turo just sat on the defender and kept him out of it. Now Soniqs, desperate to get a clear. Turo's just gonna wait, and he's rewarded with the ball. But Roldis keeps this one high. He's got enough boost to follow it. Shock comes in to help out against Taroko.
That's just painful from Rogue. The shooting accuracy, pretty rough in Game 5 with Taroko. The scoreline should be 1-0, but unfortunately you couldn't find that accuracy.
Oh, pass from Roldis. Defended by Taroko. You like how Soniqs are looking. Much more comfortable in midfield. T-Corel's got a full tank. He's got the catch. Flips in front. Can't find it against Taroko, though, who's been annoying on the backboard in the first minute or so.
This isn't good. If you're looking at T-Corel with all the boosts he's had, he's able to go into corners and then now find a couple of chances. Shock is alone. Let's see how he decides to transition this. He goes into his own half and then takes the slow route out because he wants the boost. And then the air dribble all the way across the field. Maybe a follow-up from T-Corel. It's missed. And then we get a counterattack. This is how crazy Rocket League can be. You go to one side, one massive clear on the other, and you get a goal for a team you thought was going to get scored on.
Oh, it's just a cavalcade of disaster. Shock air dribbles it downfield. The setup is perfect, and one whiff ruins everything you've built.
That's it.
Sometimes that's just the way the ball drops.
And I feel like that play could have been communicated early on. T-Corel was there for the shot and a follow-up from First Killer. Speaking of shots, here comes First Killer, finding the accuracy that Rogue were previously missing.
Oh, Shock, he bit upwards first, and as soon as he did, he did not have the space to deal with First Killer. He turned back, First Killer jumps up. Now you have to turn your car so much farther, which eats up more time, and you won't get a solid challenge on the ball, even if you do hit it there. So it's just that slight turn in front of the box that ruined Shock's day. And another demo to ruin Soniqs' day. Turo puts in another.
Wow, I mean, coming into this regional event, I do believe First Killer has the most demos per game. And with the aggression, he's going to keep it up. Try to really make it brutal against Soniqs. Make a statement here. There's still plenty of time. But how do you shake this Rogue defense, Jorby? It seems like Soniqs have no answers.
I mean, it's the same issues that plagued them before. They lose their own boosts. They're forced to play small pads. They're late to the follow-up challenge. And it's just, you're having to play hurry up every step. This shot is wide. That one has to be on target. And T-Corel tried to put it in, but he just missed the ball. He had no boost. So he has to rely on perfect flip timing to get the touch. And when you have no ability to recorrect, you're going to struggle. But they finally punched through here with plenty of time left.
And you've got to applaud the resilience from this team, trying to get every opportunity out of the midfield, regardless of whether you find the shot or not. Soniqs, they are still on the move, and you could see a comeback potentially happening if we start seeing T-Corel work a little bit of magic. Maybe Roldis comes out with that striking we know him for. Never know what could happen here against Rogue.
Oh! Yeah, but what about Shock? Shock had some flashy plays in the last match. A couple flip resets. Yeah.
I mean, he looked good on that counterattack that went in favor of Rogue. Shock started that with the air dribble across T-Corel maybe. On the 1v1, we saw him do it before. Roldis is last back, and it gets in this situation a lot where there is one player last back for Soniqs, and they can't make the challenge.
But look how hard First Killer punches that ball. Like T-Corel, that's not actually the worst spot to be in for a double tap typically, but he's got low boost, so he has to, again, his timing has to be better than usual, but the ball was just hit with such power that there was no chance he was going to get to that ball. First Killer is on a tear right now.
He knows exactly what to do and when to hit the ball with power. And the previous goal, Jorby, was him taking it slow, but another save. Not only is he working on the offense, he's putting in work on the defense.
Not seeing Rogue have any sort of lackadaisical approach on offense, or on defense, excuse me, like we did in the games that in the game that Soniqs was able to win. And I don't know if there's going to be an answer here for Soniqs. Roll just wants to create one for Shock, and Turinturo picks up the save. At the start of this game, it was Turoko on defense getting every single clear for Rogue. And First Killer and Turinturo now filling in the gaps for the rest of the match. Pass out in front, Turo can't sneak it in, and it gets the pass out in front. Can Soniqs create something here? They are working in miracle mode territory.
Well, every time Rogue are faced with a third man alone on defense, they can find that challenge or at least stall enough time. We are not seeing that from Soniqs. If there's one player last back who has to find a touch, usually you're facing First Killer going either for a demo or he's just behind the ball with the 1v1. That's terrifying, and odds are you're going to lose it. Soniqs, they can't find themselves in that situation again, or else the scoreline is just going to get increased. But there is no chance at this point, especially with that miss. That's going to seal the deal for us, Jorby.
Yeah, Soniqs, they put up a great fight, and it was a brutal one in Game 5 against Rogue, who end up closing at number 3 in their group. They will avoid G2, and Soniqs will have a difficult bracket start ahead of them in the knockout gauntlet.
Oh my goodness, that is so close now. I'm looking at it. It came down to goal differentials for Rogue here. Because they went to Game 5, they get the 3rd seed. Oh my goodness. That's why I love group stages, Jorby, because it can come down to the smallest moments. And when you see a team, absolutely destroy another one, you're going to see them stay hungry. They want to increase the scoreline as much as possible because they want to avoid situations exactly like this.
Yeah, and we'll see how Rogue perform for the rest of the tournament. Rogue is always scary when we get to knockout gauntlet territory. Soniqs, they were able to make a day 3 before. We'll see how the rest of the weekend goes for them. But we got more matches, more group play to go on. Rebellion take on Ghost Gaming. Stay around. We'll be back soon.